I'm open.
I'm open.
I'm open.
I'm open. You know, today's like a good day to be open. In world news, DraftKings last week took down AUDL, so you couldn't bet on it, but it's back. The spreads aren't up, but it's back. So
Thank God.
life is back to normal.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Morning. Ayla, would you say you're closed this morning?
No, I'm
No.
open.
Yes.
I'm open.
Open.
We're trickling in today, as is typical of our morning pods.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've got ourselves a special guest. My favorite part is that his Twitter bio mentions Star Wars. And Joe, are you a big Star Wars fan?
Never seen it before in my life.
All right, well, 3 out of 4 are pretty big Star Wars fans. So
Yeah, no, I love them though.
oh, nice.
But you haven't seen it.
No.
So this will be a good time.
Yeah,
Tier
this is
talk
fun.
be interesting talking about the cannons. I'll say that at least.
Hey, we're a Cannons pod, all right? We've been one since day one.
Speaking of what type of pod we are, I would like to show off a little something.
No, I'm excited. Oh, where did you get that?
Oh,
And then it says Alley Cats on the back.
That's so clean.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
All right. Clip that. Also, Cam definitely watches a lot of the pods, and I bet you he'll comment about that today.
Cam, I'm so sorry. Please have me as your teammate again. Look at my mug.
Yeah, I got something to say to Cam. Cam, where's my hat? It's not in the mail yet. How does Joe's mug get here before my hat got here?
true.
It's tough. I can't wait for it to come. It's gonna.
That's a fire mug, Joe. That's awesome.
Thank you. I also got this one.
Clean.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rocking AUDL mugs all the time.
I tried to do some like subtle AUDL brainwashing in the Washington Commanders subreddit because everyone was complaining about how DC sports are so bad right now, and they're like, "This is like the dark times of DC sports." And I commented, and I was like, "For what it's worth, the AUDL team's pretty good. Like, check them out." Maybe falling on deaf ears, but who knows? Someone Siraj on Carolina like tweeted, he was like you're in his DMs, he's in my email. We are not the same. It was like emails from Evan Lepler like, good luck this weekend. Like I was seething with envy. I'll say that.
It's crazy. There's only 1 week left of the season.
I know, right? That TikTok on the Aviators guys, I think someone owes me some tickets is what I'm saying. And we've got 1 game to do it. I've also looked into flights. Also not not the most doable. But
I could throw that in.
If they give me free tickets, I'll figure something out. I guess again, for the rare listener that doesn't know what's going on our Twitter, but listens to only the podcast, a few weeks ago, like I think like on March 22nd or something, during an Aviators game, they said if you tweet with the hashtag Aviators Dominate, you could enter to win free tickets. And I've checked, and I'm the only one who tweeted with that hashtag. So
In the last like 2 years.
in the last like 2 years. So it's pretty clear, like so if I'm entered to win, I don't know where these tickets are, but
We got to figure this out. This feels like a huge slight, and
I know.
And, I'll be just a little bit less angry if you don't get these tickets than I would be if like Everest didn't win Rookie of the Year. They're pretty close.
Oh yeah. I mean, never mind that it's maybe a little impractical for me to drop everything and go to LA next Friday or whatever, but
Free tickets.
the free tickets. It's the principle. It is what it is. It's the principle.
And the Aviators give out free beer at their games.
That's right. They do. It's like the first beer's free or something. That's dangerous.
Also, I bet you could do something after the game if you really wanted to. There's some people in LA that play Frisbee out there that like to go out. So
I heard some people in LA who play Frisbee like to party.
yeah. And like to tweet at us at like 4 a.m.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
After they've played Frisbee.
That was amazing.
Yeah, in that vein, I will say in last week's episode, I did mention that I was picking against LA in their second game because I don't think they could resist going out. And then I believe it was Eddie Finley tweeted a picture the night after their first game of like a bunch of beers and was like, these are all $5. I sent it in our group chat. I was like, I told you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good prediction there. So what's going on with Sascha? Can we get him in, or
he's having a technical foul?
Ref teed him up.
Yeah, his Zoom isn't working, so he's trying to figure it out. But if it fails, then we'll just try another day.
Oh, bummer. Anything else on the veranda before we get into it? Anything like more Frisbee related?
I have something not Frisbee related, but I wanted to wait till Sascha was here because if we're speaking about potentially drunk tweeting from LA Aviators, did you guys see Aaron Weaver and Sasha's back and forth about
the foul?
It was that tweet that was going around.
Was it Aaron Weaver or was it
the foul? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was Aaron Weaver.
Yeah,
Sascha,
it was like a bunch of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Responded, and then Aaron Weaver maybe like quote tweeted his response, and then was like, "This is convenient given your defense." And then Sascha was like, "That's not even my team. What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I
think I think the problem was like, yeah, I just think people on Twitter don't know each other. The being ulti guy didn't know it was the AUDL. Like people are all rattling off takes without even like knowing what happens. Like
the being ulti guy like escalated it way.
I know that was
everybody else started arguing.
Oh my gosh, that was out of control. I mean, like okay, it's like a spicy take. And he said hot take, so it's like, you know, you gotta understand going into it. He's making a hot take here, and it was a hot take. But he was saying that the Aviators player, I think it was Van Dusen, should have been like ejected immediately. But then later on in the comments, he said, "Yeah, and I think this because, you know, we should have a higher standard for a sport that's self-officiated." And I'm like, dude, you don't even this is the AUDL. Like, I mean, like, I think his point, he still has a point, but like, it definitely undermines his point, not knowing what the game is from or that there's referees.
Right.
Would he have made the same tweet? Maybe not, you know, it was just a bad look all around. I don't know, made for a spicy tweet, but like he definitely didn't have the context, and, you know.
Yeah.
That's
and I would personally, I think I kind of agree with where most people were going, that obviously it was the wrong call to call a foul on the shred guy, but I would say like this happens like with every sport, like when you slow down a video and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, he did that on purpose. Like nobody thinks that fast. Like it's ridiculous to like assign like sinister intentions to somebody based on a slow-mo clip.
100%.
He also was like going down already, like he tripped and was falling, and it's like, I don't know what you expect him to do in midair, like with his arm already wrapped around the other guy's arm. Like,
yeah, they both kind of had their arms tangled. I mean, I think that was like 50-50, honestly, like of like getting the arms, and then he tripped on the other dude's leg, didn't he? Or did he didn't trip over his
I think so.
Yeah, which is isn't that, can't you call a foul if you get tripped? Not saying that it was a foul per se, but like I've heard that. I don't know, AUDL has its own fucking thing going on too, but you know, I don't know, like they just kind of got tangled. He felt maybe he kind of flopped because he was like, oh, the other guy maybe initiated some contact, so I'm just gonna like go with it, and my arm's tangled, and we're gonna, I don't know. happened so fast. I don't think it was sinister either. And this guy out here on Twitter is like saying that he needs to be ejected for playing dirty and stuff, which is so
be ejected.
the being
Being
ulti
ulti.
guy. I don't know the dude's name, or because there's a different fucking dude every week who is basically the same person every week.
Yeah.
Bad
Some white
takes.
guy who's
Yeah,
an
some white
asshole.
guy who's a douche.
I think we've just got like eternal beef with being ulti. And
I know it doesn't matter who it
is.
is. It's just the account.
I'm kind of excited every week to see who the new person that I just fucking hate is.
Didn't we have that one week where we had a good person though?
I think we thought that was this week.
I think that guy might
Yeah.
have turned out to be this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's just, I
Well-
don't know. It's irresponsible to tweet like that, because I don't know. You're just kind of slandering somebody when you didn't even watch the game, And we watched the game, and the guy fell, and the shred player got a foul called on him, and he was like arguing at the ref, and then they moved on, and that's it. Like, no one
Yeah.
needs to be ejected.
Did you guys see Sasha's reply to Aaron though? I thought it was really funny because Aaron, like you said earlier, like Aaron posted like a Reddit thread and it wasn't even Sasha's team. And
Yeah.
Sasha, like he actually handled it really well and like de-escalated the situation. But it's like he's like, so few things, not my team, not my defense. And then he was like, if you read the replies, you'll see that like I was wondering why it was a foul on Dark because White tripped on Dark's left. And then also he said, while unintentional. So Sasha admits that he thinks the foul was unintentional.
Yeah.
It was still a foul because while he was tripping, he unintentionally pulled Dark down. So I think he just is saying that, the ref missed the call, which looking at the video, I think the ref did miss the call. But like you said, like they just moved on. Like no refs are perfect. Like
Yeah,
shit
that's refs, that's sports, there's bad calls, and it wasn't intentional, No
Yeah,
one should
and
be.
I feel like in real time it definitely could have looked like the Dark like rammed into the White and made the White like fall down.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that would have been nice.
There's the moment of truth.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh,
he's wearing the best jerseys in the AUDL too.
You'll love to see it. Welcome, Sasha.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. Wrestling the technical beast a little bit, but we're glad to have you. I guess I don't know, Sam. You're good with the intros. You take it away.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, first thing we gotta introduce ourselves and declare that we're open. So I'm Sam and I'm open.
I'm Andrew and I'm open.
I'm Ryan and I'm open.
I'm Joe and I'm also open.
And I'm Sasha, and I'm definitely open.
Let's
Oh,
go.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
Before you hopped on or while you were working things out, we were dumping a little bit about the missed call on the Salt Lake game that was happening on Twitter. And we were wondering if you had any thoughts besides the thoughts you've already shared, or if you wanted to elaborate on some of the thoughts. We're mostly in your court, just to say that.
Well, also with Aaron Weaver's tweets responding to you, we were wondering about how you felt about those.
So I think that like he definitely does have a point. That like I know it like kind of piles on. Honestly, I didn't think about everyone being like piling on about how he should be ejected and all that stuff because like it obviously wasn't intentional. Like it's like if you watch it, it's very obvious that he just kind of trips and their arms were tangled up. But like it wasn't intentional. So like, yeah, I agree that it definitely it should have been a foul on him just because like unintentional contact is still a foul. It impeded the shred player from getting the disc. And then so like those are my thoughts basically, other than what I've said on Twitter.
Yeah, I think most people can agree with that, and I think at the end of the day, like even you and Aaron agreed that like, oh well, it wasn't intentional, and I think that was kind of the crux of the issue, was like the being ulti guy tweeting like, this needs to be an ejection, like this is, and it not even knowing it was like an AUDL game was kind of a tough look too. So context is important, but yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before you came on, but yeah, I think we're all kind of on. I think you had a pretty level take on that. So, and very cordial on Twitter, which is hard to do sometimes. So yeah, props to you for that.
Yeah. Would you mind sort of giving us your like Frisbee background, and then how you became kind of the staple of Frisbee Twitter that you are?
Frisbee background. I was first introduced to Frisbee when I was like 12 years old, in Boy Scouts, just playing with the Boy Scout troop. No, you know how it is, like no real rules, no real end zones, stuff like that. And then after that, I would just play with friends, regularly. And then I started going to BYU, and then there was a flyer on like my dorm about the Ultimate Frisbee team, and I was like, oh, this sounds cool. I was pretty good with my friends back home, and so I went out and I started playing with the team, and I was absolute trash, come to find out. And so that was when I was 19, and so that's kind of where I started. This was before BYU was the BYU they are today. There wasn't a coach. It was a player coach. We weren't terrible, but we weren't like amazing, and then just kind of went from there. I played for BYU, and then I went on at the time I was a member of the Mormon church, and I went on a 2-year mission to Nicaragua. And then I came back, and that's when I started my 5 years at BYU. So I like that first year I was I didn't join USAU just because I knew that I was leaving, and that would take 2 years of my eligibility away. And at this point, BYU, we didn't really care about the postseason. We didn't really care about rankings or anything. We were just going out there trying to have fun. And so we had people that weren't eligible to play in the series, I guess. So yeah, so after that, after I got home, I started my what's it called, my eligibility, and that's when Bryce Merrill had already taken over and started to make BYU more legit. And so yeah, from there I played BYU for 5 years. Played a few club teams in Utah during that time, and now I am living in South Carolina. Played for a club team in South Carolina last year called Lost Boys, and was part of the Tampa Bay Cannons last year and this year. And that's my Frisbee story.
Awesome.
Right on. Yeah, I think my high school coach like either knows people on the Lost Boys or played on the Lost Boys at one point.
Nice.
His name's Michael Clemencic, I think, but he's Clementine on Twitter with the K. You might have seen him. Yeah. So I think he went to South Carolina, so
yeah,
he's a big South Carolina dude. But yeah, cool. So right on. So how I guess we do have some tier talk to get into, but I am curious about your experience with the Tampa Bay Cannons this year. Is there anything, what's the vibe on the team like, when you show up and play some of these games? Is there anything, any players you want to shout out, maybe any highs, any lows of the season that you want to get off your chest?
High, definitely this last weekend with the win over Dallas. Going into every game, like personally, I don't think there is a single game that any team like can't win. Like every game is winnable for any team at any point. Like, one team can be significantly better than the other team, but that doesn't mean they're going to have an amazing game. Like you can have a bad game and lose. Like it happens. Like we see it
Mhm.
all the time in the NFL. We see it all the time in every single sport.
Right.
And so like that's kind of the mentality that the whole team brings is like any game is winnable no matter what. You know, we can play well and they can play bad and we can win the game. It's a thing. And so yeah, everybody like we go into every game thinking that, you know, we do our best, we can, you know, pull out a win. Obviously it doesn't happen every single time, but you know, that's the mentality. Someone on the team that just believes in the team at all times is Billy O'Brien. That dude has an endless motor. He goes like he just doesn't stop. There was like one point in I think it was one of the Raleigh games where he played like 6 points in a row, and which is nuts. And like, you know, we all know how Raleigh plays. They just kind of grind it down the field, and this dude is out there. He's out there all the time. Like dude believes in the team. He believes in himself, and it's really inspiring to see too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
What do you got
All right.
for us, Sam? We're going into the
Well,
tiers.
Yeah, we can do it. We got a lot to sort out.
Yeah, we sure do. Sasha, we need your
Especially,
help.
yeah, we need your
Alright.
help, especially this bottom,
Mhm.
which is, you know, something's got to change on the bottom.
Oh, I forgot that we finished our tiers last time in this shape.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
beautiful.
ugly.
Look at it. Oh, glorious. We usually ask our guests like just off the jump. I mean, there's the elephant in the room, obviously, but Sasha, do you see anything that just needs to change based on what we got right here?
It's tough. I mean, obviously we know yeah.
Yeah, let's just do it. I
Let's
think-
do it.
Yeah, let's get
Let's do it.
into it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I'll be
Because
honest. I
you're
never
right.
thought it would come.
Look at that.
I mean,
There
how
we go.
far up do they go? Are they C? Are they B? I mean, what are we? No,
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 I'm okay with that.
yeah, that's
Like
fair.
that.
If you get a win, you don't belong in the
The
bottom
bottom.
tier.
Exactly.
Now, we do have a question of next week, the rematch. You know, does that
I wanted
change
to hear about
things?
that.
I feel like if Legion wins, they got to move up to F, and they're both just an F, and then there's the poor mechanics tier, which I feel
Yeah.
so horrible about. But
Yeah, you got to do it.
No,
gotta
I
do it too.
I definitely agree with that.
yeah,
I'm actually playing in that game, so
Oh,
Go.
okay.
Are you gonna try to get 2 blocks so you can go back to averaging a block a game like Jordan talked
the
about?
dream. That's the
You're-
dream. I'm gonna do my best.
You're hot. You got to keep that hockey assist percentage up.
Yeah. Can you speak to how, so I feel like because you're so prolific at getting hockey assists, whereas a player like Jordan Kerr is more of just an assist guy. I think that speaks to you maybe seeing the field and seeing the play at a bit more of an advanced level than him. Can you speak to that at all?
Yeah. You know, both of my hockey assists were on Huck, so you know, I just, you know, saw my player down the field, gave it to him, and you know, he just finished it. I guess I just put it in the right spot.
Yeah, that's the type of advanced playmaking that players like Jordan Kerr just they can't make that like we
He can't do it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't.
He's all about those, you know, I have to score, or I have to, you know, be a part of the score. No, you don't. You just
Yeah.
gotta give it to your teammates. Jordan is
Yeah.
selfish. There we go. Jordan is selfish.
Someone had to say it.
Yeah, we always try to get like some kind of ESPN like Skip Bayless takeoff, you know, in these podcasts. Jordan Kerr, selfish player. So glad we got that off. He also got us so good when he came on. He was like, yeah. I want to shout out Sascha Vogel. He's averaging 1 block a game, so watch out for that. Like, and we were like, oh wow, okay, cool. And just moved on. He got us so good. Anyway, back to the tiers though. Anything else? Glory, since we're kind of in the bottom, gave the Breeze a really good game.
But we talked about this. Like,
Yeah, we talked
the only
about
solution is splitting them up into 2 teams.
Yeah, because they are two.
It's the Tanner Johnson glory and the non-Tanner Johnson glory.
Yeah.
Right.
And even with Tanner Johnson there, wasn't he like last in the team in plus minus or something?
Yeah, he had a bad game, but
I think that he didn't have a good game, but I think still his presence there probably does something. Maybe they're focusing more on him. They're putting the best
presence,
putting the best matchup on him, and someone else is feasting or something. I don't know. I was watching most of the end of the game, and I was like listening to Evan Lepler's sweet voice while I was driving to go see Thor. So I kind of missed the end, but yeah, seemed like a close game though.
it was overtime.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I missed OT.
The stream was all messed up because it was supposed to be on FS2 originally, and then FS2 was like, no, we'd rather show last week's game. And then the AUDL got the game back, so they were showing it, but then it was like every commercial break or something towards the end of the game, the stream would just stop, and I'd have to wait like 4 minutes for it to start like working again.
Well,
That's so weird.
That's your game of the week for you.
The whole FS2 thing is kind of funky, but whatever whatever the AUDL wants to do, I guess.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they were trying to do it live, which is something we've been complaining about. So at least they tried. But yeah. So we still like Glory and F. I guess they lost the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, and they're still that inconsistent team. So
yeah.
We gotta judge them at their worst, I think.
I'm cool with that. What else we got?
I think the big thing we have to talk about is this West division, because these 4 teams in some order, I think they're probably in the right order now, but in terms of like tiers and positioning, they should probably all collectively be lower.
I mean, I kind of think the Aviators are higher than the Cascades.
Okay, that's fair.
Seattle,
I can agree with that.
Yeah, Seattle just keeps looking like Dookie, and I don't know. I mean, I think Seattle and Portland both have 2 wins, and then the Aviators have 3.
Like, I think I would have Portland below Boston and arguably below these Canada teams. I don't know what you guys think.
I think so too. I haven't watched a ton of the Canadian teams, but from what I have seen, I think so. So the first like few games of Portland, they were on fire. They looked incredible, and then I don't know what happened. They just kind of, I don't know, fell off somehow.
If you take away those 2 games, they have been like the worst team in the league, basically.
They're not great, unfortunately.
All right, I'll do it. And then
hold on.
Seattle
Hold on. Let's put the Nitro. Let's give a little respect. Let's put the Nitro at the end of the F tier.
All right. Love it.
Oh, they come up with cannons.
Yeah, for real. Slowly but surely. Sascha, what do you think about Pittsburgh? Because I feel like that's a team we've had trouble kind of situating.
I like them in either E or D. They're not terrible, but they're not amazing either. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Their wins on the season are the Cannons and the Mechanics, if I remember correctly. And they played close, decently close games with a few of the other, what are they called, Central teams.
Yeah, they lost to Madison by 1. but I think that's when we thought Madison was like way better than they actually are. So, but yeah, Pittsburgh's been very hard to pin down because they'll go out and do that, but then they'll also look really bad sometimes. So I feel like okay with where they're at. I don't know.
What about something like that?
Sure.
I think I'm okay with that.
What are we doing with these C and D tiers? I'm
gonna just delete.
Leave them blank.
Yeah. Kind of
leave them blank.
Kind of a bit.
I'm
Go
pro.
Empire, we go A, B, E, F.
You're either good or you're bad. There's no in between.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Philly lost. Let's just put that out there. All right.
They are in the playoffs.
Indy, that is true. Indy
Philly
lost
to the Empire.
Yeah,
I think
Indy lost to same tier though.
But they lost to Winchell in a pretty close game. Like
it was a fun game to watch.
It was a pretty
honestly, I don't think Indy is that great, you know. I feel like they're in the C tier at least.
Oh, okay. You're talking to an indie pod here.
You're gonna have to try saying that to Cam Brock to his face. He's listening right now.
Yeah, Cam listens to a lot of our stuff.
Let's see. I'm gonna slide everyone that was below them down here to
yeah. Everyone goes with them. Cam, there you go.
Just so he can't get mad at us.
All right, Sascha, who jumps up from that C tier in your mind?
From the C tier, out of those teams, I would say Phoenix.
Okay.
They've been pretty impressive. Not gonna lie.
They have looked pretty good.
Sascha, I've got a couple questions for you, and I think at the beginning of the season, Hustle, me specifically, maybe other people in the league really highly valued them coming in. I was thinking they'd be like a force. Like I thought they were gonna sit like their floor would be like middle B tier, maybe somewhere in the A tier. You've probably watched a bunch of their games. I think you've played against them, correct? Because in the rain, you did the rain delay where you took a video of 5'11" guy in their team.
Brett Holzmeyer.
Yeah, what happened to them? Like, is this just the team that they are, or is there something going on with it this year?
I guess I thought that, you know, after seeing their roster picking up, you know, Khalif and Bobby Lay and, you know, a few of these other guys, like I thought that they were like, you know, going to be actual real contenders for championship weekend, but it's kind of turning out not, and I'm not 100% sure why, because they don't look bad at all. Like, you know, I've watched them play a lot and they look incredible, but when they're not looking incredible, they don't look great at all. Like I don't know, maybe it's like they had a decent amount of turnover from last year. Like there's a lot of newer players on the team. So that maybe it, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea.
So still mystery even to the great Sascha.
Indeed.
This C tier is interesting because it is 3 of the 4 teams involved in what's going to decide that last playoff spot.
Oh yeah.
Indy plays Atlanta, and then the Rascals play the Union.
Oh, true.
Yeah. I like our A tier because just as Cam pointed out, it kind of spells sub. And if you're listening to this pod, you should subscribe to our YouTube.
All right. I'm glad you said that because are we going to change it?
Why would we change it?
I mean, do we need a bum? Does Minnesota? Nah, I mean, I guess
the Breeze aren't better than the Union, I don't think.
Yeah,
at least they didn't seem like it this week.
I think all 3 teams are like, you know, who knows? If they played like any given day, like one of them would win versus the other.
Yeah, I feel like Breeze are kind of hit or miss too. Like when they have their highs, they're really high, and when they don't, they're not.
Mhm.
Yeah, like they don't get enough turnovers consistently. It feels like they were pretty low in the league starting the season and getting blocks, and we had talked about that. But their D-line efficiency is amazing. So if they get the turns, I guess maybe they rely too much on the other team making mistakes to like get those breaks, and that's kind of an inconsistent way to beat other teams.
Mhm.
But when they go out and get blocks, they look great. So I think that's the biggest kind of factor for them. But I think they're definitely A tier.
Yeah, they're
Just
definitely
'cause-
very good.
Yeah, they're definitely a solid team. The Empire's kind of been the boogeyman for them in the division, but that's kind of the case for every team who's played the Empire. So
Yeah, let me just see if we missed any like glaring results.
The Growlers won twice against Portland and the Cascades. I will say the Spiders beat the Aviators. We got them right next to each other, but in the right order to reflect that.
Yeah, I
And
think the
that's a-
Spiders are like actually good. They just started so bad.
And that's also the Aviators on a back-to-back, and we know what they get up to.
True. I mean, also, yeah, true.
Yeah, they only
but
have-
also,
had like I don't know. They had a very small amount of people on this road.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I think they had like 16 or 17 guys.
Oh,
I didn't realize
lost-
that.
they only
Yeah,
lost to the Shred by 3.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe that means should Shred be the highest of our B tier?
They are.
Should they be?
Oh,
Should the Shred? Should they be?
should they be?
I don't know.
My personal biased opinion, because I played with most of that team, is yes. But my personal unbiased opinion says no, because just the sheer amount of turnovers that they have.
Yeah.
And like I've talked to Jordan a lot about this. I'm like, you guys need to clean up those turnovers, because these East Coast teams, like West Coast is, turnover city basically. These East Coast teams, they don't turn it over. So like,
Yeah,
if you turn it over, it's very difficult to get back. So like, you got to clean them up.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of I had them in A tier, and I was like maybe the last person on this pod who still had them A tier. But then when you looked at kind of the team stats, they had some of the highest Huck stats and some great offensive stats, but then they were also kind of middle of the pack in terms of turnovers. So that was kind of the difference. And the Spiders came out ahead the last time they played, and then the Aviators also came out ahead. And they were able to come back and win, and figure it out. But like that's not happening against the Flyers,
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm still high on the Shred. I think they could really do some damage in the playoffs. But
I'm gunning for them all the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for him too, because also Jordan, first friend of the pod. I don't know. And I know all those guys have, like, at least early on we're listening to the podcast, so definitely have a special place in our hearts. But yeah, definitely rooting for him
For sure.
Are there any other changes that you want us to make? Because we're legally obligated to kind of put anybody anywhere that you tell us to.
Oh man. Honestly, I think it all looks pretty great.
Aw.
all right.
All right, you heard it here, being ulti. You can't hate on our tiers this week. Sascha said it's great.
We're always hitting on our tiers.
No, we
Everyone hates
actually
them, but
we welcome it, because the ones that people disagree with the most always get the most attention and likes and whatever.
We're all
So
about the Twitter comments.
that's what it's all for at the end of the day.
Gotta get the clout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this one looks nice. I mean, I think I like where it's at. I think the Spiders kind of being back in a group with other teams makes a little more sense too. Flew too close to the sun. But
yeah, and I think sort of this bottom three being like the the bad teams, for lack of a better word, and the Spiders being on top of that seems fair. And then this being our collection of good teams, quote unquote, with sort of the Radicals being like the bottom of that. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it came together well. But yeah, so I guess this is our final week 13 tier list. We've got one more left in us for the regular season.
One
Yeah.
more.
It's pretty crazy.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Sasha, do you
Yeah.
have any big playoff predictions? Who you got taking it all?
Take like the whole thing, like championship weekend, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ooh. Empire looked pretty unstoppable. I'm not gonna lie. Ryan
Yeah.
Osgar is doing some great stuff, and they're like putting Ben Yacht on the D line is incredible too, because like they get a turnover and then Ben Yacht just goes, and they have they're really good. Yeah, I think it's gonna be we're gonna see a Flyers Empire final again, but I think the Empire will take it this year.
Gotcha. I like that.
I definitely believe Empire just honestly had a bad game last year. Like you I don't know if you watched the game, but they did not look great. And yeah, I think Empire will take it this year.
Speaking of predictions, who do you have winning the highly coveted Rookie of the Year race?
Rookie of the Year. Well, it was, as you guys have talked about, Ever Shapiro. Unfortunately, that season ended. That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I do not know. Might be. I don't know. I don't know who all is rookies. To be honest, I don't like the guys who are like contributing a lot.
Like half of Summit and Shred, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like we could see, a Summit player take it. If Portland was, doing super super well for this whole season, it would definitely be Leandro Marks. Like, there's no doubt about that. But and I don't know, he still might take it because the dude just puts up numbers, but the whole team just hasn't been able to come together fully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's tough. It's tough.
There's a couple guys on Summits. Quinn Finer recently.
Yeah, Finer.
He's
Quinn
been
Finer
putting up stats. They're basically their pull play on offense is he just goes deep and Nethercutt just throws it to him, and it works a lot because Nethercutt just throws it on a rope, and Finer just has one of the quickest first steps in the league.
Yeah, okay. So speaking of Nethercutt, that elevation in Colorado makes him like go from like really good to really really good because there's no air and he can just throw it on whatever angle he wants and it'll just fly. And like elevation makes throwing a lot easier. Not gonna lie.
Really? That's fascinating.
Makes running harder though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes running harder, but it makes throwing easier. Because like I know you guys you all went to Tulane, most of you, right?
Yeah.
Negative
So,
elevation there.
Yeah, y'all know that like we have to put like a ton of IO on the disc because of how the humidity in the air like will flip it up to flat and stuff like that. And you have to put a lot more on. In elevation, you don't. Like you can throw it a lot flatter and you don't have to throw it as hard and it'll just go really far too.
Yeah, my summer league team. I live out here in Denver. We're currently undefeated, and I just huck it every day. It's great.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
He's the Nethercutt of summer league.
Yeah.
Actually, my teammates call me Randy Moss because I go deep a lot.
That's so different from hucking it every time.
Yeah, I thought you said you huck it every time.
Well,
Wait,
I do, but
or do you huck it-
I get bored from being so good, so I got to go deep from the handler space.
Do you huck it to yourself? You throw it and then do your like MTA, but or is that there was like that one thing that USAU did during lockdown, or it was like, see how far you can throw it to yourself. One of those things.
That's me every day. I just huck it to myself.
That's how you get good. This is the training montage.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Right.
Well, anything else we got to get off our chests here?
Oh, the fact that the Canadian fields are smaller.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I did not
it's
even know
100%
that.
True.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
Because
can,
of the way that the CFL fields are set up, like they have to make the field, I think, 10 yards shorter because of the goalposts.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, I don't know if it's given any of them an advantage, but
Honestly, it might give the other teams. I don't know. It just feels weird to have, like, the 3 teams have completely different field dimensions than the rest of them. I just feel
yeah.
weird to me.
Oh, maybe that came into play with that one like highlight of the I'm blanking on
Alex
the
Ball.
dude's name. Yeah, for Breeze, who got the like
Yeah.
layout block on the pole. That definitely might not be happening on a normal size field.
I
If
mean,
anything,
I guess technically it would have. I don't know. I feel like
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it wouldn't have been like a close Callahan.
Yeah,
Right.
the play still would have occurred, but
Yeah, play still would have occurred, but I don't think it would have been like, I think, was it Jasper Tom that tried to catch it for a Callahan? Or
sure.
yeah, it was a cool play though.
That was sick.
I have to run to my big boy job, but you guys can close things out. And I like where the tier list is at. I'm glad I got to see that play out. But Sascha, it was great to meet you as well.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
So hopefully you can come back on at some point in the future. But yeah, and go Cannons. Good luck next weekend.
Go Cannons. I'm excited.
Yeah, win the back-to-back.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later.
All right, see you.
Sascha, quick question for you. Who's underrated on Twitter, especially like in the Frisbee sector?
On Twitter, underrated. Oh god.
Who deserves the clout?
Oh man, that's tough. Who is underrated? There's a lot of people on Twitter. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Well, tweet at them today when you think of them, or start
Okay.
a dialogue with us on Twitter, and we'll retweet some of their tweets
Them.
for sure.
Them.
All right. Well, yeah, Sascha, do you have anything else you want to go into before we wrap up?
No, I think we're good.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. It was great to meet you after interacting on Twitter so many times.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, and we'll hope to have you back on at some point.
For
Sounds
sure.
good. Yeah, just let me know and we'll work it out. And hopefully
Awesome.
maybe I won't be like on my phone this time.
We'll have like a whole
for sure.
We'll mail you a laptop. We'll and once we
Yeah.
Once we get that AUDL money.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. See you guys.
See ya. Sascha.
Yeah.
I would have Sascha back on and just do like a off the brand like Star Wars MCU like tier list or some kind of like interesting stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's super funny also.
Come summertime when we've got no ADL to talk about, we'll be
summer.
Some interesting pods. Leave a comment in the YouTube section if there's a pod that you want us to talk about. Let us know.
Yeah, we'll tier list all the comments on our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We I think our next pod we definitely need to reorder our guest tier list. And
That's right. We've had lots
so
of
many
guests
more.
now.
It's gonna be tough. We're gonna have to be a little cutthroat, but
Cutthroat.
Everest is going down for sure. I can tell you that much.
the manga tier.
Yeah, he's in the dynamic duo tier.
It's him and Peanut.
What else do we gotta talk about before we end the pod?
Nothing. I don't think.
All right. Is anybody gonna make it to another AUDL game the rest of the year?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to the Breeze Philly playoff game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll be at
That'll
the
be-
Summit. I'll be at the Summit game this weekend.
Yes.
It'll be really fun.
Yes.
Looking back on it, I should have bought season tickets. There's only been one game that I didn't go to. So that was actually no, I'm supporting with my money. I'm supporting the Summit, the local
True.
field.
But how cool is it to say that you're a season ticket holder?
Next year,
Mm.
Zach and I have already talked. Sorry, Carp and I have already talked. Like we're for sure getting season tickets. Like without
That's so sick.
Love that. All right.
Wow.
Well, this has
Yeah.
been a Tier Talk episode of I'm Open.
I'm open.
I'm open. Tiers look a lot better now,
For
at
sure.
least visually speaking. So